go.
All right, proud to announce the new Foildrive Midlength. This is the second addition to the KrUzer model. We first started off with the prone and we found that it was such a good board for paddling and entry into waves. We kind of made the board just a bit bigger and longer and thicker, and then we just thought, why not just make it a mid-length version? And with the foil driving that I've been doing at the moment, this board's so geared towards getting the board out of the water and just going fast for a takeoff and just disconnecting from that water. We've kept the same outline as the prone version, where we've got these quite a narrow shape for how wide it is. We've got this little fly hip at the back coming towards a pin tail, and we've really pulled all the knowledge that we've got from SUP, how well the SUPs have been paddling up in downwind, that we've brought that across into this mid-length version. We've got Amos's amazing construction, where we've also found that it works so well with the Foildrive connectivity to the remotes.
I guess we wanted this one to move through the water really fast. So if we flip it over, we can have a look at the bottom contours. Yeah, it's all designed for water flow to come off the board.
So you've kind of put like this double through the nose.
Yeah, and even through the bevels here, like we've essentially made a concave, which means water's just going to flow off the back of it with no resistance at all.
I've also found too with this mid-length design that with going just a bit bigger in length and obviously higher volume, it just makes everything easier when you're foil driving. Like, it just really irons out all those pitch insensitive moments where it goes up and down and kind of just like smooths out your foiling.
What do you think when you're when you're actually up foiling with a foil drive, just having that thinner?
That's also like another real key point I've found with a lot of foil drive specific boards and mid-length style boards. They're quite thick, and I really wanted to go the complete opposite to that and keep like a really thin board that feels like a surfboard. There's already like so much foam in this board and just this hydrodynamic shape. There was no need to go super thick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've already got that with the Sultan Prone.
That's right.
If someone is really struggling with paddling or like just like flotation. But this, I've kind of tried to make it as much of a surfboard style feel. So when you're foiling, it feels like you're just on a larger prone board.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're on a SUP, and it feels like a lot of chunk that's like flying through the air. And I just also, like, I really wanted a thin board, because even though this board is made for to do everything, I specifically made it for foil drive. And when you add a foil drive unit on the board, it's already an inch, and then you got your mast. There's just a lot of board and a lot of like, you know, foil drive unit that just detaches your foot from the feel of the board.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted to thin that out so you just got as much sensitivity when you're foiling. You don't lose it through the foam in the board. I think a lot of guys, when they're opting for a foil drive specific board or a mid-length board, is that they're just looking for a lot of leaderages. Like, they're not actually thinking about the board design. And I think just the hydrodynamic shape of this, how it's quite pulled in, it's got this pulled in flyer, it's got the pin tail, it just wants to travel across the water super fast. And when you've got that board speed, it wants to just pop out of the water. So
it's almost been proven with the downwind boards, right?
Totally. We pulled it from the Sultan, the Bullet. We're just using all those like ideas and design feels and product testing, and we've kind of just landed on this. And I truly really love this board, and even like how I mainly use it for foil drive, it's a super fun like prone board. Like, everyone's kind of testing out these mid-lengths now with just normal foiling. And I think it's really going to cater for the guy who can't really paddle a tiny little board. You know, they don't want to go out there and rip turns like Tom Earl or Zane Westwood. Like, they want to just go out there, be able to catch a wave, get on foil, connect to the next wave, then they're happy. And I think like, sorry?
No, I was saying that's me.
Yeah, like, it's just, I think, and I've also really noticed this with a few other friends who are more at like the beginner intermediate level. They get so sucked into like super high performance stuff, and then they're out there and they don't even catch a wave. And it's like, just with all aspects of foiling, we've learned start big and then you can go smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And I think this is such a good, like, you know, beginner intermediate style board that then still crosses over to like high performance stuff.
Yeah.
It's got everything.
Paddling through lineups, you know, like you want to save your energy. You don't want to be paddling a 4-foot board in the wrong lineup. So here's an option.
I know you made one of these for yourself. You made the 5/8 version, maybe because you wanted just ease of paddling.
Yeah, I mean, you're not always 100%, and if you're kind of up against a current or something, obviously you still want to catch waves and get in the spot to take off. So yeah, it all makes sense. You can paddle through the lineup without, you know, using all your energy. There's a few compromises with pumping a larger board, but if you get the timing right, it works just as well, doesn't it? Yeah.
I honestly haven't even noticed that much board in front of me because, like, you know, these tracks are a third of the way up the board. You still only have a tiny bit of board in front of you.
Right,
like it doesn't, when you're on foil, it doesn't feel like a huge board. Maybe for someone else watching it might look long, but you don't really feel it. It kind of,
The narrowness really helps with that, doesn't it? It doesn't put too much foam in front of you. Even though it's longer, it still feels balanced.
Yeah, our first prototype was a little bit wider and we just noticed that that width is not really necessary. Now we've pulled it down to even a little bit more narrow and yeah, you just really don't feel that swing weight for a board that is bigger than your normal size prone.
So yeah, so we've done 2 sizes for stock. The smaller ones are 5'4", 36 litres, 19.5 wide, which will probably suit like your average weight rider, I suppose, say like 75 to 85. And then we jumped up to the 5'8", which if we just have a look, I think it's up around that, 40 litres, which, you know, for anyone sort of up around that 90, 95 kilos, it's still going to paddle really well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. These boards, they nearly look like a surfboard again.
It's definitely, it's definitely the closest thing we've done to like a surfboard outline.
And it's just, I've definitely noticed from riding thicker, shorter boards that have the same leaderage, this just feels like a more natural surfing feel. And that's really what I'm trying to achieve with the KrUzer. I don't want it to feel like just a block of foam.
Yeah.
I want it to have the feels of a surfboard so you can still surf those lines as if you're on a normal surfboard.